Three, two, one. Welcome to Sydney Reflect, Ali.
Hi, Bikesh. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, brother?
Yeah, I'm very well. Nice to see you after a long time.
Yeah, man, been long. I think it was the uni days only where we met. I don't think after that we met ever. Like,
Yeah, after that,
yeah,
the COVID came, and then it just put everybody in the home, and then nobody's coming out.
yeah, man. This COVID thing, I don't know when it's gonna be over, man. It's been hard,
Yeah,
man. I'm going crazy by just being at home for so long.
yeah. No, it's good. It's good to hear from you about
Hmm.
this podcasting as well, and I was quite happy about it. Like you're keeping a good start, and working on something really good.
Yeah,
That's a
man.
good
This is
thing.
I've always like wanted to do a podcast, but somehow I didn't have the time. And
Yeah,
due to this lockdown, I had that time, so I thought I'll just try it. I mean, I'm not sure how I'm going to manage this once everything starts up, but
yeah,
for now, it has been a good way to keep my mind occupied.
yeah. No, it's really good. I mean, it was so good to see you like working on something really
Yeah,
nice, and you always wanted to do that. Not a lot of people, I think, get to do what they want to do here.
yeah, man. I don't know. The thing with me is that I just want to do what I want to do. Somehow I want to do that. If I want to do it, I'll do it. Like I don't have a
Yeah,
lot of responsibilities, or I don't have a lot of baggage that I need to look after. Maybe that's why I have that freedom. I love the freedom, of being able to do whatever we want to do, and I want to keep it that way and just keep on doing till then when I can. I don't know what's gonna happen in future or whatever, but until and unless I can do it, like I'll do it my way.
yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah. So let's get into your story. That was mine. So since you have been an international student, right now you're working as, what is the name? As a software engineer at Westmead Institute of Medical Research, right?
Yeah, yeah. Currently, I'm working
And
there.
you're also an iOS developer.
Yeah, I used to be,
Okay.
but yeah.
So tell us
So
your
it was
story about like what
so.
being an
wh-
international student was like.
where do you want me to start? Like starting
Like
from the day
start
one coming to
start
Sydney,
yeah, maybe start from, when you landed in Australia. What was that like and
and
what
when
happened after that?
you get that big culture shock, and everything is like upside down.
Exactly those things.
All right, yeah. So it started in February 2018,
Mm-hmm.
and I came here to do masters in information technology in Central Queensland University, Sydney campus, same as you. And
That's where we met.
then yeah, that's a good thing. And then I was working as a game developer back in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was good, but then I thought, okay, I need to do masters, and then I applied for masters here. And then everybody has a different view of
Mm-hmm.
becoming an international student and coming to Australia, and then expecting a lot different experience and a lot of different things here. What's like I think the reality is a bit different,
Mm-hmm.
and when the reality hits you and you start getting to know stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just try to keep it short, but
Yeah.
I'll just tell you what happened with me. So I think I was quite lucky that I already have friends here when I
Mm-hmm.
was coming here, and so it was a very good start, to be honest. Like one of my friends just came to the airport. We had really couple of really good days here.
Mm-hmm.
So it was quite easy for me to, get hold of some things and just, settling down into the place. Otherwise, I have seen people struggling a lot with,
Mm-hmm.
landing here and then didn't have a good place to, live, and then, food and everything. There are a lot of problems. Like
Yeah.
your whole life is, it's in your hands, whatever you want to do with it. Nobody's here to,
Exactly.
look
I
after you.
think most people don't understand that thing, like when I came in here, that thing was in my mind, like I can restart my life and live the way I want to, like most people I think
Yeah,
don't just realize that. Like now, I think it's not they don't realize it, they do realize it. It's just overwhelming when they realize, like what's
yeah,
actually real world, what's actually working out here and doing things are like.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just like
Mm,
I think I had that advantage I had very like old friends from Pakistan, and then
Mm-hmm.
they were already here. Everything was kind of, better than me, better than others for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like they came to pick me up and all that started. And then even when I went to the university, I think on the very first day, the person sitting next to me was another amazing person I met, and
Mm-hmm.
she's still my like best friend here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was another blessing I had here, and I really, I'm really proud of my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they were the ones who, who helped me and who guided me and who were there to, support me in
Mm-hmm.
every way, like in terms of career, in terms of finances, in terms of living, in terms of homesickness, everything, because your family is not here.
Exactly.
And like for the 20, when I came here, I was 26.
Mm-hmm.
So for the 26 years of your life, you just stayed here. You just stayed in your country with your family, with your friends. Everything is native for you.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is like your own. And when you are coming here, there is a different culture, different people, different mindset, and different challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And then the worst part is nobody's here to look after you.
Exactly.
So like when you are like, I'm not sure about the others, but when I was in Pakistan doing my job,
Mm-hmm.
you just going to work, coming back, going out with friends, coming back home. Your food is ready, your clothes are ready, your bed is ready. You just go
Yeah.
and enjoy life. That's it. And when I was here, I was like, oh my God.
I have to do
So
everything.
yeah. And the first couple of weeks, I think it just went
Mm-hmm.
okay because I didn't have to, wash my clothes. I didn't have to cook
Mm-hmm.
food. My parents were doing all the stuff, and we were just eating out, having a very good time.
Mm-hmm.
And then after 2 weeks, when the reality started hitting, then
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when it starts actually.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of pressure, it just starts piling up.
Yeah.
Like you need to have a job, you need to do this, you need to cope up with the studies and everything. And oh my God, I still get goosebumps when I, remember about that time.
Yeah. Right.
And it's everything is, just hitting you at once. Like
Mm-hmm.
you have to do everything of your own, which you have never done in your life before. And then you have to study as well. Then you have to work as well. Then you have to manage every bloody thing you can imagine, like everything. And I think that's when I started doing my laundry. That was the very first thing.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of things that I did for the first time in my life in
Uh.
those couple of weeks, and started doing my laundry. Started learning how to cook,
Mm-hmm.
and then
What was your first
uh,
dish that you cooked?
yeah, and then started doing your just pressing your clothes and just setting it into the cupboard, and then it's that stuff. So I think it was the basic lifestyle things which
Mm.
were quite
Yeah.
which were taking a lot of time and a lot of energy, and that was keeping you busy for a while.
Mm.
And then another pressure just started piling up here, like you have some money when you're coming here, but after some weeks when
Mm.
it started to hitting the bottom line, you just
Uh.
want to earn more money, and you
Yeah.
don't have any job. And then I think that's where you need a lot of effort, and you need to be again, I would say I was lucky that I have friends here,
Mm.
and they tried to get me a good job, or
Mm.
they tried whatever they could, to be
Mm.
honest. Like any I would not say that they didn't help me getting a good job,
Mm.
but they tried their best to find any job.
What was your first
And
job?
yeah. Oh, first job. Okay, I think not a lot of people know about this, but
Mm.
I couldn't get any job for the first 1.5 months,
Mm.
and then eventually there was a time when So I had to ask it extra money from my parents again back from home. And trust me, that was something I didn't feel good about.
It
I
was
was
very
like,
messy.
dude,
I know that feeling, bro.
yeah,
I know that.
dude, you need to step up. You need to change. And I think that was the time when uh, I started thinking differently, maybe. And because like back in Pakistan, my job was like mm, I was working as a game developer. That was a very
Mm,
good job, a very good company. And then like you had that office culture. You are working 9 to 5, a white collar
mm,
job. Like you're just going to the office, working with like a very professional environment. And I had expectations that I would come here having 2 years experience in
mm,
IT. I just land into a good job here in IT. So I was struggling, like I was trying to apply for a lot of jobs in IT, but couldn't getting anything, no response.
mm,
And then I got to know that I'm on a student visa. That's why I'm not gonna get any job,
mm,
and that was devastating, to be honest. Like um, that was something that hit me really hard,
mm,
and I thought, okay, maybe it's time that I start looking for odd job.
mm,
And the first job I could finally, get into, that was a cleaning job.
mm,
And I I never, I never did cleaning back in home, and nothing, like I didn't know anything about cleaning. But
mm,
that was the only opportunity I could get to just, earn some money and just do the survival. And at the same time, one of my friends, he referred me to some superstore, like a convenience store type.
mm,
And then it was, I would tell you, I don't know, it's hard to believe now,
mm.
but I was working on $10 per hour. And I was like,
That's the thing,
it,
man. That happens. I can understand that because most of us like somehow we know that that's not the right price, but somehow we, because of the pressure of not having a job or
that's,
not
that,
doing that, we get
yeah,
compelled to do that.
yeah. And then, but there was one good thing
Mm,
that I'm really proud of, that I never settled for those jobs. I
mm,
was always pushing myself. I was always trying to get into better jobs, and I was always trying to look for opportunities. And like that's what I would suggest to all the listeners, like
mm,
anybody who is still into that, pitfall, and who is still struggling or working hard into those odd jobs which you are not meant to do for the rest of
mm.
your life. Just step up and change your game.
Yeah, you
it's
need to
it's
take
time.
that decision
nobody else
somewhere.
nobody else is going to do that for you. Trust me.
Yeah,
It's something that you need to work on, and it's something that I think if you see any opportunity, just I think you need to take a chance on that.
you have
So
to, man.
I think, yeah.
You have to learn
And
to take
then
that risks when it's needed. Even though it's
exactly.
uncomfortable or whatever, you have to take the risk. So let's go into like what was it like being like growing up in Pakistan and then coming here in Australia? What was that like? What are like some of the cultural differences that you might have noticed?
Yeah, I think it was as like any other country. I think every place
Mm-hmm.
has its own culture, has its own norms and lifestyle, I would say. So back there, mostly, you're living with your family. You're going into a lot of family gatherings.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of friends, school friends, and and you're a native there, and you
Mm-hmm.
know everything. Like you know how you're living, if you need anything, where to get it, who to ask, and have references and everything. So I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of a social person, and I had a very big social circle, and I would say I was really attached to my family as well.
Mm-hmm.
So coming here, it was totally different. Like in here, even I think like first of all, you just exclude your family totally. Like you don't have anybody from your family here. That's the first big difference. I think that you can't fix, to
Mm-hmm.
be honest. And the other thing was friends. Like I made new friends, a lot of new friends. but still, I think it was different back there, and the connections you have over there was totally a different game than here, because I think in Australia, everybody here as an international student, everybody is struggling. Everybody has their own problems going on, and it's really hard for someone to take time out for you. Time is the biggest, I think, challenge here in Australia. Like, if somebody is giving you time in Australia, trust me, it's the best thing he can give you.
Yeah.
That's something I really appreciate. Like, if somebody is, taking some time out for you, I think that's something priceless. You just realize it later that even if, because everybody has to, manage their everything, like lifestyle, cooking, cleaning, living, whatever. They are doing everything for themselves. And if still they are taking time out for you, that's a big thing. And then the other thing was food. So I was quite keen for some local foods there. In you might have heard, like, Lahore is quite famous for foods as well. So that was another thing. So, but now I think we have found a lot of places to eat here, and we have quite much like adjusted kind of a thing. So we still miss a lot of things, but yeah, now it's better. But in start, it was really different. Like, I was not really a fan of fast food, to be honest, like Macca's and KFC and all these things. So yeah, it was a bit of a thing. So that was another thing. And then I think the one thing that I really liked about Australia was the weather. So it wasn't very hot here, and it was, I think winters were very long, which was very good. And still, I think now it's getting a bit hotter, but still very good.
It's hot here, right? Like, we reach up to like 35, 40 degrees Celsius here.
Yeah, but it's just for like 2-3 months. It's not very long. That's the thing.
It used to be longer
over there
back home.
Yeah, it was like in Lahore, I think it hits 45, 50, and then it stays for like 3-4 months like this. And then even the winters is like very short. It's like 2-3 months. And then and then the other good thing was the wind. It gets quite windy here, which you like and you dislike sometimes. So that, and humidity level is I think quite low as compared to back home in Pakistan. So yeah, that was another thing. And then I think maybe the work culture, or that was a bit different. Like the people you meet here, you see a lot of difference when you go to jobs, and you see professionalism, and you kind of I liked it, to be honest. Like,
it's much professional. I don't know what was it like back your place, but when I compare it to my place out here, people have, I don't know, they respect each other's job, they respect each other. That's the main thing I think about the work culture out here compared to what we used to have back home. And yeah, people are nice if you're in the right place.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, you need to be into the right place. Otherwise, if you're into hands of some, like I didn't share it with you, but I think it's good to share that as well for our listeners to it might be helpful for someone. That the first cleaning job that I was working on, I didn't get paid for that.
How did you work without getting paid?
So it was on cash, and there was somebody from our own background. I don't want to reveal the identity. I don't want to no disrespect, but he was from our own background, and he didn't pay me. He and I couldn't do anything, because I wasn't working on a proper contract or on a proper TFN or ABN. There was no documentation, nothing, no proof. I couldn't go to fair trading. I couldn't do anything. So that is one thing I would very strongly recommend to every student. Please don't work on cash. Even if you're getting paid double, don't work on it. Like just go for bloody TFN job, ABN job, or just go for something, which is legal and which you can actually claim your right on. Don't dwell for something, like don't fall into a trap of someone paying you $1 extra or $2 extra and just making everything useless for you, because there would be no experience, there would be nothing if you're working on cash.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I really want to put emphasis on. Like international students, they just want to earn $1 extra or $2 extra, and then they just get into these traps, and that's what happened with me.
Yeah, but
So,
even if you're like working in cash, I think it depends again in situations. But I think even if you're working in cash and if you are being exploited by your worker, you can always go to Fair Work Ombudsman. I don't even know how to pronounce that right, but you can always go there and you can always complain. That's the thing. They have put out that thing that there is this body, but there is no proper information out there for international students regarding how to actually apply, how to reach them. So that's the kind of problem I think we do have. We can see around us.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was tough. Like you don't have anybody to guide you on that, and you don't have that confidence because you're already thinking that okay, I'm on cash and I don't know what's gonna happen, and there is a limitation of working 20 hours per week.
I think that is one of the main reasons.
You have a lot of factors, but at least keep one job which is related to your career, who you want to be in future, and then that's how it should be. But I think I'll just continue my thing. We were just moving here and there.
Yeah, so, that's right.
Like working, I was working on that petrol station then. And then I just left that cleaning thing because he didn't pay me anyway. But things were getting kind of there because I was working at a convenience store, just taking out my rent and just my living expenses like food, traveling, blah blah. And then one of my friends, he was working in a payment company. It was a payment solution company, and he was working there as a developer, as an IT, you can say. So he shared with me there was one vacancy for a software tester, but I always worked as a software developer. So people from IT background, they can understand there is a lot of difference.
Okay, what's the difference like for like in layman language? What's the difference?
The basic difference is developers are like, the tech guys, the cool guys who do the actual work, and testers are just anybody who is just doing some testing. Okay, the developer has done the whole thing and now the tester is just doing the testing. Okay, for example, if I have developed a game or an application, I have worked on the actual, technical part, and now you're just testing it. You're saying, okay, this is working, this is working. Okay, that's it. So this was a tester, and it wasn't something that would attract any developer. But I just, as I said, like I was already struggling with the odd jobs, working at a convenience store and a petrol station and all that. I said, okay, why won't I just give it a try and try to go for a testing job? Like it was an easy thing for me because I already knew what happens at the background. I already had some experience with the development. So I just at that time I just started, I just took some online courses and just worked really hard for 1 week. And he said, okay, I'll just refer you there. And he referred me there, and I got that job.
Right.
Being a student, getting that IT job, working for like 20 hours.
That's like a big thing for someone who is in our position, being an international student.
Yeah, exactly. So that changed everything. Like that's where I got confidence. That's where I said, okay, it's just a matter of, pushing yourself and then, just grabbing an opportunity and just working hard on it. And
it's also
then I
go on.
Yeah, then I was like working in that company. I joined as a software tester, but then I told them, okay, I was working really hard and, trying to do some extra work for them. And then, just letting them know that, okay, I'm capable of doing development as well. So eventually they gave me a role of an iOS developer. So I just, after 3-4 months, they just moved me to the development team, and then I started working as an iOS developer. I learned about iOS development, and then that was a big thing, and that was something that that's where it started getting better.
Yeah, that's the thing that I've also seen.
And then I just left.
I've also seen this thing like where I know you want to do like a proper, like high level job, but since you're in a new country, in a new place, you might just have to start at the very bottom, Just make sure that whatever you're doing, it's somehow related to what you want to be or where you want to reach. And if only you can do that, you progress with the time, You have to work, but you progress with time and reach there instead of doing any odd jobs that is not leading you anywhere. This also brings to the question, like,
yeah, exactly. See, that's
go on.
Yeah, like I was gonna say that, like, doing those cleaning jobs or convenience store or petrol station, it wasn't adding any experience.
I mean, it was adding experience, but not in what you wanted to do.
Exactly. Like that experience were more of like, it might be improving your communication or something.
Life experience.
It's not something that it's not something that you actually put on your resume, or that's not something that you wanna work on in future. Like if I'm working as a cleaner, if I do it for like a year or so, it won't be much different. I'm doing the same thing again and again today, getting up, going there, cleaning the same shit, and then just getting back. That's it. And then if I'm working in something, for example, I'm not saying like do a very highly technical thing, just maybe, let's say you're working at in some office as a helper or something. What will happen? The people you are working with, the work culture, the environment, the networking, that will teach you a lot of things, and that will add value a lot to your portfolio.
Yeah.
And networking with the right people, I think that's another key thing. Like, we come here, and a lot of people I see, they just try to stay within their community. They don't want to explore, or they don't want to expand their network, or they don't want to talk to new people. So that's another thing I think international students really need to work on. They should not be shy. They should not be worried about anything. Nobody can do anything. It's something that you need to step up, and you need to just go and talk to someone and build your network in such a way that those people who are you gonna network with, they will be the one who are gonna help you defining or building your career. Like I just got like one opportunity through a friend. You will get the same thing if if you're around the right people, you will definitely they will definitely get you somewhere where you want to be.
Sure. But another thing about the networking is you should also be careful about the kinds of people you are working around, or the kinds of people you're trying to help around or be around with, because as you said, the guy who didn't pay you, there are people like that too. So while networking, you need to be careful that there are kinds of people like that too, and be careful that whatever you're doing is actually they actually care about you. It's not like just they're showing. If they actually care about you need to figure that out.
Yeah, that's something which I can't tell you. You can't tell anybody. Like, exactly. It's something you can hear it from inside. Your inner self can tell you, okay,
your gut will tell you that
this is what you want. Yeah, you need to choose your ideals very carefully, and you need to, like, a long time ago I read it somewhere that I think it's very quite famous, might be online, you might have heard as well, that you are a product of 5 people around you.
Yeah.
So the very close 5 people around you, they define you. Trust me. If you have if you don't like, if you see the closest 5 people to you, they are not good, or they're not something that you want to be, then maybe it's time for you to think about changing them, or
where you're living
start
around.
networking. making new friends, start exploring new people, or maybe changing some, the way you're living right now.
Yeah. I mean, there are
So
some people like, like who are close, who we have not because they are good at something or if they will help you grow. It's just because somehow they are support system to us, even though they are not at big places or even if they couldn't do. I think that's more valuable than networking when you are out there networking with people, hoping that they would be able to help you or they would be able to give you something, instead of having those kind of friends or those kind of people who have nothing to do with that, whom you are just there with so that you could share your emotions, your sadness and happiness and everything. It's good to have those kind of friends too. So it's not like just give up on all friends and look for new friends, but be aware, go out there and meet new kinds of people. While you have those kind of friends, also make new friends who could like help you grow, I can hear you but I can't see you.
okay, should we reconnect again?
Yeah, maybe let's try that. Oh, it's working fine now.
Yeah, I can see you. I can hear you and I can see you. Fine.
Yeah, that's fine from my side too.
Okay, sure. Sorry about that. I don't know. It's like
That's
everything
alright,
is
man. That's the thing about doing
trying
it
to.
online. We have this
Maybe
kind of.
so maybe someone is trying to stop us from talking about these serious things. They don't want to
Maybe,
expose it.
maybe. But I think whatever we were talking about before, like, I think it comes to the point where it's like being an international student, you have fees to pay, loans to pay, and most people come here hoping that they would earn money than grow themselves or explore out there. And when it comes to the question, I think money versus growth. What do you want? Do you want money or do you want growth? And I think it's very confusing, in times because you need both. It
Yeah,
also depends on whom you are asking, actually, man. I mean, for someone who is having hard time to have the night's meal, the money is the greatest thing for that person. But
yeah,
for someone else, it could just be growth. For me, I just earn enough. I don't spend much. I don't earn much, and I focus more of my time into growing myself and exploring things and doing things that I love. What's your
exactly.
take on that? Money versus growth?
I think I would go with the growth because growth will eventually get you the money.
Exactly,
So
right?
if you're exactly, and that's trust me, that's what's happening with me right now. Like if I was always running after the odd jobs or some jobs which I really don't want to do for the rest of
Mm,
my life, and they're not adding something to my life, I would say, or my experience, and then I'm just adding a lot, earning a lot of money, then after some time I would be frustrated
mm,
and I would just break down. Like it won't work out for me for the whole
mm,
life. Like I have seen people here who work really hard and they earn a lot of money, but
mm.
trust me, they are not satisfied, or they're not enjoying their life. There is no balance. Like
Exactly.
all the time they are tense, they are working, they work really hard. But I think the key here is to work smart as well. So
Exactly.
you definitely need to work hard.
Mm,
I'm not saying that you don't need to work hard. You definitely need to work hard, but you need to be smart. You need to be you need to do that hard work smartly. Like you can't just keep doing one same thing, which is which anybody can do, or which is like which is not adding any value to your portfolio, or which is not
mm,
adding value to your life, or if you are not liking it, just stop doing it. Just you know start looking for the opportunities which you can actually which you look forward to, which
mm,
you want to be in future. Like if let's say even if you want to do some business or something, still you need to be with those people. You need to learn those things about the business and everything before you dive into something, or before start working on something. Otherwise, like here, as we are focusing on international students, so I think
mm.
international students, they just come here, they start working in something, and then they just keep doing that. Like
Exactly.
some of my friends, they somebody just referred them to some field, and then
Mm,
now it's been years that they are still stuck in that same field. Like one of my friends, he's working in a restaurant. He never thought of working in a restaurant. He never wanted to work in a restaurant, but right now he has just settled himself in a restaurant.
Yeah.
So I think that's something where the problem comes, and people just uh, get into that money thing. They say, okay, I'm just earning this much money and that's it. But trust me, if you are into some career, or if you are working hard for something where you actually want to grow, life will be a lot better. Like
You like your
if
daily
you
life, you know.
exactly everything, like then everything you will enjoy doing. Like if you want to, for example, I'm an IT person. Like I work in IT field, and I wanted to work in IT field, and here I, like, since I've started working in that IT field, my job is I love going to office. Like I love doing my work. Like it's not something that I just get up and I was like, oh my god, now I have to do this. I don't have to go through that, that part. And the other thing is, thank God that I'm growing every day. Like I'm learning new skills. I'm developing better portfolio. I'm working on new projects. I'm working with new teams, new people, meeting new people who have the same interest, and that's adding a lot of experiences for me. Like I'm talking, I'm getting a chance to meet some people who have the same interest, and that's a very good thing
Empowering,
about
actually.
life. Yeah, and that's something I think international students especially, they need to think about, that rather than rather than getting stuck into something that you don't want to do for the rest of your life, or you don't want to grow into, don't just rush for money. Maybe you might be earning $1 less or $2 less per hour, but trust me, if your focus is on your career, or if your focus is on something that you actually want to do in your life, then that's way better approach. And
True.
like I'll share my story. Like everybody is running after PR. Like everybody is looking for, okay, I want to get permanent residency. Every international student here. It's one of the dreams. I would say it's one of the top three dreams of
It
every
has become
international
one. Yeah.
student. Yeah. And like, of course, it was in my thoughts as well. I wanted to settle down as well. But what happened? Like I was just running after my career, and I just worked for the company really hard for 1.5 year. And the company asked me, okay, we don't want to lose you. We would, we would give you this opportunity, or we would take this chance to give you the sponsor you
Sponsorship.
for the PR thing. Yeah. So that's another motivation for international students. Like if you are good in something, trust me, there are hundreds of companies looking for good people. But that's another thing, you need to be good at what you're doing.
Exactly. You
Like
need to have that
you
skill.
need to, yeah, you need to be good enough to make that company to ask you to to work, to keep working for them. So that's something where you need to work on. And trust me, this PR thing will also, it will eventually just be there.
Yeah.
Like I have seen, like I know three of my friends, they got sponsored just because, like, two of them are from CQ.
Okay.
Like they just got sponsored because they were really good at what they were doing, and they never stopped working hard. Like one of my friends, he was in CQ. He I really, man, his story is amazing. He was working so hard to, and he struggled a lot to get a professional job. And the moment he got the job, he got, trust me, he got very good pay, which and a normal international student cannot even imagine of that pay.
Okay.
He is getting paid. He is getting paid a lot more. He is getting sponsored. He has got that 9 to 5 job and everything. Like it's just that he was just pushing himself just for the right thing that he actually wanted to do. And I think that's something like I would always suggest, just go for the
Mm,
growth path, and it will eventually get you a lot more than money, not
exactly.
just money.
True.
It will get you a lot more. Yeah.
That's true. But why do you think, according to what you have seen maybe around you, like why don't we go and try for those like professional jobs and just stick to what we get in whatever field someone
Yeah,
else put us into? Why do you think
exactly.
we do that? International students do that.
Um, See, it's about the interest, and it's about the motivation, and
Mm,
it's about the guidance, or it's about the environment you're living in.
mm,
If people around you, everybody is working an odd job and they're just settled in there, you're not gonna get any motivation from them. Trust me.
mm,
They won't, push you to go and work hard, or just work on something
mm,
that can actually get you into a professional job. That's not going to happen. So
mm,
to get into a professional job, you need to look forward to people who are already into the professional job, or who are already doing something that you want to do,
mm,
and then just go and see, okay, they did something which you haven't done, and that's where they are standing out,
mm,
and that's where they have an advantage, and they worked into something that helped them getting that professional job which you wanted to. And
mm,
you still have time. Like, it's never too late for anything, any job you want to do. Just it's just the path, or it's just the
mm,
I think a set of uh, things you need to do to get into that job. You need to have that skill. You
mm.
need to have that I think that urge to to
Mm.
really work on that, to get into that.
Yeah. I think it's as you said, like people haven't understood that concept of, like why growth is more important than money. Plus, I think because those people are just lazy, they are just good with whatever they have get. Job is easy, you are getting good pay, so you don't care about growing anymore. Because I think
Yeah.
we had this chat actually in one of our podcasts where we brought in a life coach, and she was saying that one of the reasons why we don't want to change is because it's uncomfortable for us to do the change. It's much easier to be doing whatever you are doing than to go
Yeah.
out and look for a professional job or go out and try to get something better.
Yeah, see, that's definitely, I 100% agree with you on that.
Mm,
Like, that's something we really need to change, like, especially for international students. Once they start earning good money, they
mm,
start living like a little better lifestyle, get a good car or something, start getting into hanging out with
mm,
friends, making trips and blah blah blah. They think that, okay, this is it. But they, trust me, you haven't if you haven't experienced this professional job,
mm,
you're missing a lot. Like, you are just working on something that you don't want to do for the for the rest of your life, and
mm,
eventually you will get bored and you will get frustrated, and then the problem will start. So it's better to it's better to start working on your dreams
mm.
as soon as possible.
That's
Like,
possible as early as possible.
yeah, yeah. So it's something that I think, I'm not sure
Mm,
how other people, like,
mm,
who have already struggled, or who have already who have already got to some point.
mm,
There is a gap between those people and the people who are just coming here,
mm,
like the new international students, I mean,
mm,
like a new international student. So I think there must be some bridge, or there must be some way of communication
mm,
between some successful international students and some students who are just landing here.
mm.
And maybe universities can do something about
This
it,
is
or
this is something for
maybe.
that. Whatever you're saying, this
Yeah,
podcast, that's what
exactly.
we're
This
trying to do
podcast is
actually.
exactly this podcast is definitely something I really appreciate, that it's trying to fill that gap
Mm,
between people who have gone through a lot of hardships and a lot of experiences, and then the people who are new to this whole drama, and then
Exactly.
they're just starting getting into that. So yeah, and I would like to share like one or two more experiences related to
Uh-huh.
international student thing.
Yeah, go
Like
on.
every student, when they are coming here, um, they try to change their courses.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want to go into some other
Yeah.
university or other college, so there would be less workload, or there
Let's
would
pay.
be less pay, fee issues, and all those things, so they don't have to pay much fees and all that. So I understand that like a lot of students do that, and there is no harm doing that. Like if
Mm.
you are doing that, it's okay. But one of my friends, she had issues with the agents
Mm.
who do that or who manage all these things. And I worked in one of the student consultancies as well for some
Mm-hmm.
time, so I know how the whole thing works.
Mm-hmm.
So like she was saying that okay, she got like they they try to they were fraudulent people, and
Mm.
they try to misguide her, and then they try to put her in some university which she didn't want to go, but she just went there and blah blah
Mm.
blah. So I would say that it's something that students needs to be, you need to be responsible for your decisions.
Mm.
Like you need to think for yourself as well. Let's say if you want to change your college, if you want to change your university, you need to work on on the requirements,
Mm.
on the decisions, or on the job, sorry, on the admission. Like you need to know, okay, what are the requirements, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
going for. Students just, they just go to the agent, they just say, okay, I
Exactly.
want to go to the cheap university, and that's it. They don't care about which university they are putting you in. They don't
Mm.
care about which course they are putting you in. They don't care about, okay, what would be the consequences of this decision. And like they just ignore everything,
Mm.
and then eventually they end up complaining about, okay,
This
this is
consultancy
not
did
good,
this,
or
this,
this
that.
is not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the consultancies, trust me, they are there for business. Like they, of course, they are going to help you, or they want
Mm.
to guide you, or they want to work with you, but it's their business. Like
Exactly.
they would only think about the interest of the company. They don't care about your career, or they don't
Mm.
care about. And like there is, like, we used to call it, like, it's where the wind is going,
Mm.
like for the PR thing. Let's
Mm.
say there is a PR in IT, everybody's going to IT. There is PR in nursing, everybody's going to nursing. There is PR in cooking, everybody's
Exactly.
cooking. It's just where the wind is blowing, everybody's just going there.
Going there.
And yeah, and it keeps happening. So okay, it's fine. I don't know if I can suggest anything on that.
Mm.
But the thing I can suggest is, whatever you are, if you're changing your courses, or if you're
Mm.
changing your degree, if you're changing your university, whatever you're doing, please just do your working. Please
Do your
just
research.
think about, do your research, and just know what you are buying or what you are going to do.
Mm.
Just don't rely on others to make decisions for you.
Mm.
Just take control of your life, and just take control of your thing. Like,
True.
don't just say, okay, my friend is going to that university. Okay, it's fine, it's good thing that your friend is there, but trust me, it would be much better if you just see, okay, this is what he's doing, okay, this is what I'm gonna do,
Mm.
and this impact it would put on your life in future.
While you were just saying
So
this, I just realized, like, I think you would relate it to yourself too, because as you said that you had that culture of being in a family, being with people around, surrounding. I think
yeah,
that's because I've seen a lot of people out here too. Like, they're going to a particular regional area, not because there's scope for their work or there's scope for their future. They're going there because somehow going there helps them with permanent residency, or they are going there because they have someone they already know there. So somehow,
yeah,
I think that cultural background is also something that, makes us to do things that our friends are doing, or go to the same
yeah,
college that our friends are going.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's of course,
Mm.
it's something we are comfortable with. We just want to go for things that we are really, in our comfort zone and we don't
Mm.
have to do much and all that. But it's, if you want something good in your life, everything comes with a price. You need to pay the price.
Yeah.
So, and it's really hard to understand, trust me. It's not easy to absorb, and
Mm.
like everybody just wants everything ready on the plate.
Yeah.
And trust me, it's easy to eat that, but it's really
Hard to cook
hard to
it.
cook that and put it on the plate.
I think it's with the
So
whole generation our, like, like people our age, the whole generation, even with the new generation that's coming up, we need things instantly, instant photo, instant, updates, instant this, instant
yeah,
that. So, somehow we have forgotten the value of patience, and how patience is one of the best virtues to have, in this whole world of tech and everything, fast food, fast eBay, this and that and everything, I think
ev-
we've forgotten what
every
patience means.
yeah, everybody wants to get millionaire through cryptocurrency or stock trading, or I don't know what's happening. It's
Yeah.
like
I'm doing
people.
cryptocurrency too. I'm doing the trading too. So no offense to like not doing this or that, but I'm doing this. I'm not doing only that, or I'm not doing that to be a millionaire overnight. I'm just doing because it's fun. Plus, it's
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
some extra source of income.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. That, for example, if you're doing trading, you must be, studying about some company. Okay, this is where
There's a
I'm gonna
lot of work to do
invest.
in that.
Exactly. That's my point. Like, you're gonna work on this. Okay, this is what's happening with this company. Okay, it might be a good to invest in this one. And then, there will be a growth. This
Yeah.
is something what you are supposed to do, and that's what you are doing.
Mm.
But if somebody is just buying those stocks because you have bought that, that's
Yeah.
wrong.
That's wrong.
That's
Exactly.
that's that's where the problem comes from. Like,
Yeah.
one of my friend, he invested in Bitcoin, he earned a lot of money, and then the other one just invested because the other friend has become
And the
like,
money.
he earned a lot of money, and then he actually lost some of the money, and then I was like, okay, this is good.
You learned the lesson there.
This is, yeah. So now, like, this is, I think, something we also need to keep in mind while
Mm.
doing anything here. Like, don't just see if someone else has got some opportunity or someone else has done something. It's not necessary for you to do that.
Mm.
You just need to do your thing. Just do the best for yourself, and just do the best what is good for you. Not, don't just follow someone blindly, or
Mm.
don't just get into some trap, or just try to be vigilant, and try to do your research, and
Mm.
a bit of work on anything you're gonna do in your life.
Mm.
And
Anyone who's coming here, I think they need to understand that the life is different out here. You need to learn to be active. You need to learn to be working long hours. You need to be.
yeah,
I think it's only after coming here I have somehow realized the value of time. Time was kind of so much. Like we used to take it for granted back home. And only after coming here we realized that value of time. Like time is the main thing. It's not the
exactly.
money or this or that. Time. What
Yeah,
are you doing with your time?
exactly. Yeah, no, definitely. It's actually the time which
Mm.
defines you. Like, whatever
Mm.
you are doing with your time, that's you. So that's something very, very important, and very, very, I think, very important to understand for everybody
Mm.
here, regardless of if he's a student or on
Mm.
TR or PR, whatever. Like, everybody needs to take control of their time.
Yeah.
I would just like, I just got to know one more. I just remember one more story of my friend.
Mm.
Like, he was here. Like, it's related to another international student problem.
Uh-huh.
Like, he was here studying in one university, and
Mm-hmm.
he was working really, really hard, and he was working extra hours and earning a lot of money, and
Mm.
not focusing on his studies, and just not taking it seriously.
Mm.
And what happened was, like, he just failed in that subject, and
Mm.
then he had to pay that fees again
Mm.
for the same subject, which is like $3,000-4,000. and he was actually studying in a good university. I won't expose his name.
Mm.
He would kill me for that. But
Mhm.
like he was studying in a good university, and then the problem was he didn't realize that, okay, if I'm studying here, you're supposed to do your assignments, you're supposed to study, you are supposed to work on your exams, you need to prepare for your tests and exams and quizzes and all that, and then you need to pass in your subject at least. So that's another something international students, they need to focus on their studies as well at the same time. Don't just keep working hard and just keep earning money. Like eventually, if you are failing in one subject, and let's say if he earned that $3,000-4,000 extra during those 3-4 months, he just paid that back to the university.
Exactly.
So you need to keep that balance. And you know what he did? He failed 3 times in that subject. So I would say that maybe he earned $12,000-15,000 extra by not studying or by working extra hours, but eventually he paid it back to the university. So
Exactly.
that's something I think we need to keep a balance between everything you are doing here. And that's where your time management and your skills and everything that comes into the picture. And then you just start to think, okay, this is how I'm gonna study, this is how I'm gonna work, this is where I'm gonna do my things, and this is how I'm gonna do cooking and blah blah blah. And then you just divide your basic things, and then just try to keep the balance. Don't just
Yeah.
go for, like, if you're working, you just keep working and not doing anything. Like I try to engage myself into different activities. Like I like traveling. I like gardening. I like to play with the cars. Like I do sometimes, some tweaking to the cars and all that stuff. So like it's I think it's something that you need to keep yourself engaged. You need to
Exactly.
uh, I would say uh, keep working on something that you like doing, or you need to take time out for yourself as well. Think about, okay, this is who you are, or this is what you want to do, or this is what you like do. And if I like meeting my friends, I try to meet them every day, like every second day, every third day. Even though I can just do something, maybe I can go and do some extra job and earn some extra money. But trust me, if you're just adding some extra money, it would eventually frustrate you, because
Exactly.
you wouldn't have anybody around you to enjoy the life. So I think we need to understand that we should not just rush after money, and we need to keep the balance.
We do,
That's
bro. We do.
that's that's the
I
key.
say
Yeah.
I say that to anyone that I meet, either in a daily basis or in my interviews. It's like you should do something that you love. You should take out time for doing things that you love, because that somehow gives you that energy, or that somehow boosts your confidence to do other things in life, because you were
Yeah.
actually able to do things that you love. So yeah, it wouldn't make sense until and unless you do it and feel it yourself. But believe me, through my experience, if you only are able to do things that you love, maybe not daily, maybe once a week too, it will change your life. It will make your life a lot better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because if you're doing something that you like, you will
Mm,
feel good. You will get that feeling, you will get that motivation, and you will
mm,
get that inspiration from within.
yeah.
And that's something vital. Like nobody can give you that.
Yeah.
And like, and then I think the other thing is that when we when we are working in some, for example, a lot of our friends, a lot of our um, people who I know, they are still working in those odd jobs, or they're still struggling with their
Mm,
career and everything. And they're trying to apply for good jobs, but they're still not getting it.
mm,
So it's I know it's a reality. It's not like not everybody is lucky enough, or not everybody is not
mm,
they are working hard, but they are not getting that opportunity, or they're not getting that interview call, or even
mm,
if they are getting that interview call, they're not able to break it. So I think for those people, I would say like maybe just keep, because you can't just leave your job because you need to survive as well. You need to manage your finances. You need to do those. But at the same time, I think maybe start adding some extra skills to your resume. Like for example, one of my friends, he after doing his masters, he did some certification. He's also in IT. So in IT, if you have a certification on your resume, you will definitely get a job in that role which you have a certification for. So that's
Yeah.
maybe another thing that that international students they can think of. Like if you're struggling, if you're struggling finding a good job, or if you're struggling finding an interview call, then I would say that maybe just try to add some extra skills. Maybe just try to change the approach, the way you are, looking for those good jobs, or maybe just improve your LinkedIn profile. That's I just found out after coming here that LinkedIn profile is very
LinkedIn is something.
important. Yeah, it's something very important here in Australia. Like companies do look for the employees, and they do look for opportunities in LinkedIn. You can maybe improve on that, and then I mean there are a lot of things that you can do to, but don't just give up on that. Like if you have applied for one job, two jobs, three jobs, you're not getting it, you will eventually get it. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of the right job for you. Sometimes we don't we like I never thought that I would get these opportunities here. Like the way I got into that the payment company, I started working as a tester, moved to development, then moved to another job. So see, it's I think the life goes on like this. So all you need to do is you need to keep pushing yourself. You need to keep working hard, and then you need to do the right thing for you, and you need to understand, okay, this is what I want to do. It requires this skill. I need to add this into my resume. I need to add this skill myself, and then I would definitely get that opportunity. Like if I compare myself with the students who came in 2018 February, I would consider myself lucky, and I would consider that, okay, I'm doing a lot better than a lot of students who came same as me. But still, I'm trying to push myself, and I'm trying to still I'm working on a lot of things, and I'm still trying to add value to my portfolio and my resume to work on maybe even better things. Because see, there is no limit. Like when you get into that field, you see there is a lot of competition. There is people who have worked way harder than you have, and then when you hear new stories, you get that motivation, you get that inspiration, and I think that's the key. Like you need to keep pushing yourself. You need to keep working on your skills. You need to you always need to work on yourself and be a better person every day, maybe. And I think that's something that will eventually get you where you want to be.
True, bro. True. That's very true.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
is a very good note to end this podcast on. Thank you very much, Ali, for your time today. It was really great to have
Yeah.
you here and to know your story. I think we shared a lot of tips for our international students, for our listeners, that could be very
Yeah.
helpful in their professional life and in the life being as an international student too.
Yeah, definitely. No, thank you very much, Bikesh. Thank you for this great opportunity. It was really lovely, first of all, meeting you, and then talking about these issues, which I think there is a lot of gap for international students to learn these things. And I mean, I would really appreciate this effort. And I would say that if I could be of any further help in this, noble cause, I would say, then I would love to, help you on
Thank
that.
you, bro. Thank you very much
And
for that.
yeah, and good luck with the career thing and all the startups you're doing. So that was
Thank you.
really nice to hear. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Bikesh. Thank you.
If you like this video, hit subscribe. You can listen to the full podcast in YouTube, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.